Well, here we go. I'm out of YouTube jail. I got pardoned. But on a serious note, though, such is the way. Um, so why does the left surrender their platforms, and what in the hell am I talking about? Well, I was thinking about this point because I'm watching this excellent video by Zoltanus, or that was written by Zoltanus HN and narrated by the fascist. Like I say, I've said plenty of shit about them, but I think the fascist and Zoltanus HN do great work. I know people are gonna be like, "Ooh, that's cringe," but that's okay. But let's get to the meat of this issue. Why does the left surrender their platforms? And what the hell do I mean? Well, let's focus on 2 points: on all cops are bastards versus open borders. Let's go ahead and talk about these, and let's go ahead and dig into this a little bit more. So, ACAB, all cops are bastards. Well, that rhetoric changed once the January 6th attack occurred. And the Voshites and all this other stuff. The Vosh LARPers, I'll put it that way. Let's not dignify them with Voshite, but these folks suddenly were like, yeah, well, cops are bad, but I'm glad those guys defended the Capitol. Shut the fuck up. It makes you look like a hypocrite. It makes you look like a loser, really, and just a bootlicker. Unironically, of course, it's like, you know, how do those boots taste? Lib or something like that, right? You're just bootlicking, where you're like, oh well, we're glad we're glad the Capitol Hill police defended the Capitol from these evil insurrectionists. And then, of course, on a larger point, they're like, when we say ACAB, we don't mean the forensic people. We don't mean the detectives. We don't mean all these other folks. We just mean the patrolmen. They're simplifying it to that. Only the patrolmen, only the people that are driving around in cars that have uniforms. Beat cop, whatever term you want to use. To me, that surrenders a basic point. It's like if you're ACAB and you hate police and all this sort of thing, but then love the FBI, a lot of people aren't going to understand that. Normies are not going to understand that. Like, so you hate average police officers, but you're okay with pretty much everybody else. So you hate like 10% of the force. Well, actually, numbers are skewed, but you don't like the uniform guys, but the plainclothes folks and everything else you don't care about, even though they could be, setting people up and shit like that as well. But yeah, it just that's the one point. So the second point is open borders. Now, it depends on what lefties you talk to, but the smarter lefties are going to be like, well, we support open borders, but that doesn't mean we want to allow terrorists this and that into our country. And so they play this sort of back and forth sort of game about, well, we don't want terrorists, we don't want drug dealers and stuff like that in our country either, but it makes you look like a twat. And you know what? I'll add a bonus one, and then we'll just wrap this video up. But the third one is going to be the take of abolishing prisons, which is kind of connected. The idea of abolishing prisons is like, well, we're going to abolish prisons and we're going to, free people because, prisons are exploitative and all that sort of thing and the labor. And what happens? Well, then they're like, well, we're not going to release the murderers, though. We're not going to release the rapists and all that. We're not going to do that, though. We're going to still, what are you going to do with them? You're still going to have prisons, right? Oh, well, we don't want to execute them either. And they back up off this point. I remember when, oh, what's that tranny's name? Oh, Philosophy Tube. Back when he was with, what's her name? I don't even care. The vegan thought. Anyway, and I remember asking them, "Oh, what do you think about murder? Oh, or about death penalty? Oh, we're not going to talk about that." And so this is their position, and they look and they surrender these points, and then true believers are like, "What's going on?